Can I sit with you? Hello. Welcome from my floor. I desperately needed a scenery change to record this. I'm constantly sitting in an office chair. I'm always sitting at a desk, and I just got bored. So I present to you my cat, Artemis, who will be narrating from the backseat driving, if you will. Maybe she will mostly likely be sleeping for the entirety of this recording. Today, I wanted to talk to you. I got my iPad, so I remember my notes. Today, I want to talk to you about 3 supposed life-changing hacks that didn't work for me and what I did instead. I got the inspiration for this topic from Morgan Evelyn Cook on YouTube. I love her content. She's so relatable and is squirrely brained like I am. So if you enjoy my content and enjoy some longer form video content, I definitely recommend checking her out. She is a lot of fun. I really enjoy her videos. But with that, let's go ahead and jump into it. Welcome to the Burnout Fairy podcast, where burnout meets boundaries, self-care is sacred, and rest is our resistance. So let's just jump right in. What are my 3 supposed life-changing hacks that didn't work for me and what I did instead? Number 1, meditation. I have a very long, storied experience with meditation. I was introduced to it very young. I was introduced to like woo-woo and new age and the occult and all that kind of fun stuff and yoga when at a young age, and meditation was very strongly emphasized in all of that literature and all of those programs. Meditate. And the focus was always on controlling your mind. Everything I consumed until a few years ago, really, everything I consumed was very focused on the mind and thoughts, the mental sphere. Everything below the neck was sort of ignored or put to the side. Everything was about controlling your thoughts above all else. If you're sitting in a meditative posture and you feel an itch, your meditation should power over your body's natural functions. You can see why I struggled with meditation. I am a very antsy, dynamic, gotta move, like constantly something's itching, something's distracting me. There's always something as I'm catching myself to rub my nose. I found meditation to be very restrictive. I always felt like I was failing. I hear this a lot, but I hear that a lot from others, but there was always all of these studies coming out about how meditation promotes your gray matter. People who meditate have thicker gray matter in their brains. They are able to focus and respond better to stressful situations. And I mean, let's just say it, people who meditated were better people. There was this perception that people who meditate were just better people overall. They could handle their emotions better. They were better decision makers. They're better at responding to stress or crisis situations. They were better able to navigate self-stories, right? And when you feel like you're failing at meditation, you feel like you can't be a good person. And that was very much a story that I had for myself. Meditation made me feel bad about myself. And there's a theme here with all of these life hacks. that anything I tried, if I failed, if I couldn't master it after a certain amount of time. And now, even though meditation made me feel bad about myself, I was still trying to do it because I knew being a meditator was ultimately going to have much needed mental health and physical health benefits that I really desired. So what did I do instead? Because meditation clearly wasn't working for me. Enter breathwork. Enter movement. Enter singing and humming and chanting. I had to add an additional element that fully brought my mind and body into coherence for a meditative experience. Breathing helped me expand. Being able to use patterned breath helped me connect my mental state with my physical state. It helped me bring them into coherence. Same thing with adding movement. Adding movement, letting my body do what it felt it needed to intuitively do, actually dropped me deeper into a meditative state. Adding elements like singing or just music. I should have known I had ADD when I was a teenager. One of my favorite bands was 9 Inch Nails. I mean, I still love 9 Inch Nails, if I'm being complete. Industrial music, that really noisy, chaotic. It seems like every element is out of sync with each other. Probably how people felt about jazz music back when jazz came around. I remember my dad hating it and feeling like it was just a bunch of noise. But when I would come home from school, I would put that on blast. So sorry, ears. I would put it on blast and I would lay down on my bed and I would try to focus in on different elements in the composition, the musical composition. And that would put me into these deep meditative states. Even though it was noisy, even though it was chaotic, even though there was lyrics and randomness going on, even though it wasn't just me, like having something to focus on really helped drop me down, help me regulate my nervous system, help me become calmer, help control that noise outside of my body, helped me control the noise inside my body. So where meditation advised me to just continually come back to controlling my thoughts, the monkey chatter, whatever, I needed another element that brought me focus. That was breathing for me. That was music for me. That was adding in chanting. I think I am not a transcendental meditation expert. I've never done it myself, but I think they give you a mantra to focus on. And that's a key if you're having trouble, if you have a busy brain, having something that you can feel in your body that really connects you and creates that coherence between mind and body. That is your key to unlocking the benefits of meditation without relying solely on the function of meditation and controlling your thoughts. Now that I know I have these other elements, these other tools at my disposal, meditation is so much more accessible. And now I don't even need those tools necessarily. I just had to have an MRI done last week, and they have to give you some kind of ear protection. I can't do earplugs, so I went with the headphones, and they said, "Oh, we'll play some music for you." I said, "Nope. I'm just going to meditate for the 45 minutes to an hour that I'm in here." And I was able to do that because I now knew how to link my mind and my body without always having one of those other external elements or additional elements to help me with my focus. I can't always just drop into that. Sometimes I need that extra oomph, that extra element to really bring me in. But yeah, try it. I actually picked up a paint by numbers recently and have been trying that. And other than like the hunched over position I'm in that wrecked my back for doing it for too long, try different things. Maybe breath work, maybe chanting isn't your go-to, maybe music isn't your go-to, maybe you need something more physical where you're working with your hands, you're keeping your body sort of busy, but letting your mind get quiet. Experiment, play, be curious. Always, always be curious. My cat is adorable, by the way. Super cute. Number 2, reading a ton of self-help books. This comes with a caveat. I will never not read self-help books. I will never not read self-help books. I have what corporate world likes to call a growth mindset. I'm always looking to improve. I'm always looking to be a better person. If you're watching this, you're probably very similar. You're always looking to fill the gaps or nurture yourself in a way that you hadn't been doing before. There's always room for improvement. I like self-help books because sometimes I'm introduced to a concept in a certain voice, in a certain time of my life that just doesn't land the same way as it does in a different voice and in a different time of my life. I have more experience, or that particular voice has a way of communicating to me that lands better than another voice. I will never not read self-help books. But one of the things that I noticed, especially when I was younger, is reading self-help books ultimately made me feel bad about myself. I felt like if I wasn't already intuitively doing some of the things that they were suggesting, or if I wasn't able to match their prescription for living a healthy lifestyle exactly the way they prescribed it, I was failing. By waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning and not getting in like a 2-hour workout, plus playing with my cats, plus household chores, plus getting ready for work, plus my commute, plus meditation, plus breath work, plus this, plus that, plus all the things, everything all at once. It made me feel like shit. And it was very toxic at a certain point. It created problems for me that I didn't have before. Everyone has their own opinion on what the best morning routine would be. Everyone has their own opinion on what the best eating plan is. But at the end of the day, we're all different. We all have different needs. We have different dietary needs. We have different waking schedule needs. We have different sleep needs. We have different needs. Fantastic. One of the things that I adopted for myself was a menu system. I tried for decades to create the perfect morning routine. But here's what I learned. Every season, my routine needed a change. I need different things in winter than in summer. True, I need movement in both of those seasons. I need movement every single day. But in winter, maybe it's yoga and a walk around the block. And in summer, it's getting out for a run and doing a weight training routine. When I was doing performance arts, when I was a dancer, my routine needed to include dance if I had a show coming up, if I was practicing a new routine for something. Spoiler alert, I was always dancing, so no matter the season. I also suffer with chronic pain, and tomorrow may not look like today for me. My ambitious workout plan for tomorrow, my perfectly curated morning routine may not be accessible if I am at a different pain level, if I am at a different energy level. And also, like, people who travel, I travel a lot. I can't always do the same morning routine depending on where I am. I have to be adaptable. I have to be able to adjust things. So instead of creating these really strict prescriptions of diet and exercise and morning or night routines, I created menus of things for exercise, I think about what my goals are. My goals are to get movement to help with my window of tolerance when it comes to dealing with stress, because movement helps regulate your nervous system and lets you ground out stress. It's also aging gracefully. I'm sitting on the floor right now. I don't know if I'll be able to do this in 20 years, but I'm going to incorporate exercises that enable me to have the flexibility and the strength to get up and down on my own. Bone health is also something I consider. So strength training is something I want to make sure I incorporate. So I think about what are my goals, and I kind of adapt my program around that. Morning routine, I just want to feel good. I just want to feel good. So my menu and what I do first thing in the morning depends on my energy level, my physical capability, and my time. And I have a variety of things that I know I can pull on to make sure I'm feeling good, both in mind and body and heart. Always trying to incorporate joy throughout my day. That is a priority. I want to feel good. I want to feel happy and content. And yeah, there's things that I don't want to do. I have to go to work. I have to sometimes respond to things I don't want to respond to. I have to solve problems I don't necessarily want to solve. But I still have to do that. And I can mediate that by making sure I'm nurturing myself and doing the practices that I know will help me feel good. And speaking of feeling good, my foot is asleep. So we're going to change positions and not to bump the camera. So if you want to keep reading, but you want to skip the self-help book, join a book club for fiction. Read a fiction book. Read history or an autobiography and be curious and explore. Let your mind wander in someone else's world. Whether that's a made-up world or a real-life person's world, you can still educate yourself and become informed, even if you're not, and better yourself, even if you're not reading a self-help book. There's tons of other ways to continue your reading habit without getting someone else's prescription for living the best life, because it may not be your prescription. Number 3 is going to be super controversial, and I have a lot of feelings about it. No screen time. First thing in the morning or last thing in the evening. We know that screen time can rot the brain. We know that the blue light from our screens may have some adverse health effects, particularly when it comes to trying to fall asleep at night. No one has ever said, man, I wish I looked at screens more. I don't know, maybe there has been somebody. I shouldn't say no one, because I don't know everybody and we're all different. So I take that back. However, we live in a world where we have become super dependent on screens. For most of us to live in the modern world, we need to have screens. Some of y'all may argue with me on this, but whatever. You're watching this on a screen. You're listening to this probably from a device with a screen. Everything has a screen, it feels like these days. It's how we get information. It's how we share ideas. It's how we inform ourselves. It's how we entertain ourselves. Screens are a vital part of our modern lives. I'm going to address screens at nighttime first. I know there's this trope, because it's true, of a lot of people doom scrolling in bed, going through socials, just automatically just going from one TikTok to the next, or a reel to the next, or a YouTube video to the next, just consuming, reading what this person said to this other person, beefs between national park mountains for some reason. It's entertaining. It's designed to draw you in, even if it's making you catastrophize about the world. It's designed to keep you locked in and have your attention as much as possible. So how do we work with that? And what can we do instead if we can't abandon a screen first thing in the morning or last thing in the evening? Now, I don't know about you. I use my mobile phone as my alarm clock. So I'm definitely like the first thing almost when my eyes open, I'm seeing if it's not my cat's face in my face, it's usually to snooze or stop my alarm. So I'm looking at my phone first thing. I'm not necessarily engaging with my phone other than to interact with the alarm, but I'm still getting screen time. I'm still breaking the rule of no screens first thing when you wake up. I have all of my notifications snoozed at night. So when I get my good morning message, I'm not bombarded with a bunch of notices. I have all of that turned off for a certain span of time so that I am not, oh, what did Instagram say? Or, oh, what was this text message? I am able to opt out a few people because if someone sends me a text at night that I need to get a text from or a call from, I have scheduled things so that they can break through if it's an emergency. But otherwise, I turn off the candy slot machine that's in my hand. I don't want any red bubbles. I don't want anything that's calling my attention to any particular app. I just want to wake up and go to the restroom, brush my teeth, wash my face. I don't want to get caught up in whatever is happening. So research your phone's settings. Do a Google search on how to optimize your phone, how to reduce noise, how to set up do not disturb, how to turn off notifications, how to minimize notifications, how to set up quiet hours. Do yourself a favor and learn how to use those functions on your phone so that you can cut down on the noise and use your screen time more intentionally. Let's talk about night. So I have this iPad and I read it at night. It's the device that I do most of my book reading on. I did get a Kindle Paperwhite, which basically functions the same way, just a smaller, lighter device. And I read my books on a device at night, which you're not supposed to do. A lot of people can sit up in bed and read a book with a light on until they're ready for sleep. I cannot. I have so many issues with sleeping. If I am sitting up reading a book and I get tired, then I have to put the book down. I have to turn off the light. I have to scooch down in bed and get comfortable. That last one in particular, any kind of movement from the state I was in, getting sleepy, reading my book, any state that I was in, and then have to change away from that, wakes me up instantly. So I have to get into a sleeping position, turn off all of the lights, have my environment set up properly, have my cat in the crook of my arm, balancing my Kindle or my iPad with its backlit text in my face in the dark. Because then when I fall asleep, it just falls over. And I don't have to move. I don't have to take my book anywhere. Sometimes I have to fall asleep with my glasses on, and that's just what it is. But again, you can use your device's settings to minimize that blue light by increasing some orange color or some red background. All of my stuff looks like a sepia aged book at night when I'm reading through the Kindle app or on the iPad. I use my device's features to optimize it for my use, so I'm getting less of that bad blue light. Moral of the story is learn how to use your device so that you're able to use it in a more intentional way than the consumption way it was designed for you to use. It only takes maybe an hour of time to set up everything and a few touch points maybe here and there throughout the year to refine it. It's not a big lift. to have a huge benefit to your day-to-day life. So that was my 3 life-changing life hacks that I hated, that I hate, and what I do instead. I would love to hear from you what your favorite life hack adjustment that I shared today was, and is there a life hack that you try to apply to your life and just couldn't get to work? Share in the comments below. I can't wait to hear from you. If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye for now.